What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, you guys. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. It would mean a lot. We're on the road to 600 subscribers. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. Okay, like I said, guys, I'm gonna be dropping 3 videos a week, and I'm gonna try to be more consistent. You guys are probably gonna see less editing and all that stuff. I feel like that really does not matter at all. So I think what really matters is just consistency. So in today's video, I just kind of want to talk about, like I said, I'm going to be talking about different things in this channel now. I'm kind of going to be moving away from tech topics, going to be talking about things that more interest me and honestly will provide value back to you guys. So yeah, if that interests you guys and if you guys like that stuff, just let me know down in the comments below if you are liking this new style. And yeah, so yeah, today's video, it's Saturday night. I could be going out, could be having fun and whatnot, but I just choose to stay in and honestly lock in, right? It sounds cliche, but I honestly just think hard work would always, you always will get a return for hard work, right? So in today's video, I'm just going to be talking about the top 5 ways you can actually lock in and improve your life and increase your financial output, right? So okay, so number one thing, at least I'm gonna talk about for me, right? This isn't everyone kind of locks in differently, but let me talk about the 5 things that honestly helped me out the most, right? So number one thing that helped me lock in the most was changing my environment, right? My environment, honestly, I'm gonna be listing these out. I think number 1 is gonna be the most important, 5 is gonna be at least important. So it's kind of gonna be backwards. Obviously, we want you to stay until the end of the video, but if you don't want to stay, honestly, it doesn't matter. But all I know is these 5 reasons are gonna help you out a lot. And as you guys can see, I'm not reading out from a script. I'm just gonna be going off top because I know this stuff works and I think you guys will find this helpful. So yeah, so reason number 1 is, yeah, locking in, right? So your environment, right? If you do not have a good environment, if you cannot control your environment, then you're just not going to be successful. You're just not going to be able to output what you want to output, right? I learned this from previous experiences. One, being in a chaotic environment. If there's just a lot of noise going on, you're just not going to be able to lock in, right? And me personally, I grew up with a lot of people in my house. I don't want to get too personal, like on this channel. I'm just going to talk about from my experience, but I grew up with a lot of people in my house. Usually I was always around people like family, other people, like just people all the time. So that honestly, it held me back, but I'm always thankful for that just because, like, obviously I love family. I love being around people. It's nice. But if you really want to build something, I realize, at least just for me, if I really want to be serious and I want to build something, there's no way that I can be around a lot of people and expect to lock in. Yeah, there's always, you can always, if you're living at your parents' house, that's completely okay. I lived at my parents' house for, 20 plus years, right? But there's going to come to a point, you'll realize this in your life. I don't know if you guys are on the same journey as me, but if you really want to lock in, if you really want to change your life, you have to change your environment. I promise you guys, that helped me the most. If you guys see my last video I posted, I moved into this new house, and honestly, I thank God every day. I thank God for providing me this opportunity. I thank God for the people I know in my life. But I've honestly, been able to move out. Next video, I'll probably talk a little bit more about, how to increase income, how to, obviously make more money and stuff like that. So, but yeah, luckily, I make enough money to where I can afford moving out to my own house. And I made a video about this, kind of touched topics on this, but yeah, like a house is way better than an apartment. I mean, apartments are nice. If you have maybe like a penthouse or something, or like somewhere that isn't really sharing too many walls with people, obviously penthouses on the top floor, so you're not really going to hear neighbors. Obviously, if that's the case, then apartments I think are better, but houses are better just because, one, it's cheaper than, a huge apartment. But yeah, you don't share any walls with people. It's super quiet, and yeah. Okay, so reason number 2 on how to actually lock in and change your life is you have to just cut out bad habits. I can go on and on about the habits nowadays, Gen Z. We got a whole bunch of stuff, right? So you can be looking at Instagram models. You can, just be, gooning or whatever they call it nowadays, just wasting hella time, and doing stuff like that. And in the moment, that's going to feel good, but in the long term, it's just going to hold you back. Especially nowadays, I think nowadays the internet has such a chokehold on people, and stuff like that honestly can ruin your life. So you just have to be very careful on the habits that you're doing, right? So, and in addition to that, also the food you eat. I'm a victim of this, right? Like I think I threw it away, but I eat Chipotle. I go out to eat a lot, but I'm starting to cut back on that. And I noticed, like, when I cook food at my house, it's a lot better. Like one, it's healthier. Two, it's cheaper, so you save a lot of money doing that. And I know in Alex Hormozi's videos, he's saying, hey man, you should just order food. Yes, that's true when you get to a certain amount of income. But I'm just talking about the regular guy out there who, you know, isn't making a lot of money, maybe $2,000-$3,000 a month. I'm just gonna give you guys, like I said, some value to you guys. You don't have to go out to eat every single day, man. You're gonna waste a lot of money doing that. Think about it. Every time you go out to eat, you're wasting like $20-$30. So stop going out to eat. Start making food at your house. Meal prep if you can. That's gonna save you a lot of time. Cut out all the bad stuff. You know, like, you know, smoking, all that stuff. It's okay sometimes. Like I said, you have to definitely go out, be social, have a good time. But do not, you know, don't waste your time. Like, don't, you know, do bad habits all the time and expect you're gonna get good results, because at the end of the day, you're not, right? It's what you put in. Cut out bad habits. Start eating better. Sleep too, which I'm gonna talk about that next, right? So just cut out bad habits, stop smoking, stop drinking, you know, don't be looking at Instagram models, stuff like that, wasting all your time just on, you know, bad habits, because I'm telling you, you know, luckily I'm still somewhat young. I'm 24 years old. So, obviously like those bad habits, like you can kind of get away with it now, but when you're a lot older, like, you know, in your 30s, your 40s and stuff, you know, those habits, it's like the old saying, you know, like if your face is stuck, like if you make a bad face, I don't know what the saying is, like if you make a bad face, your face is going to get stuck like that. And that's kind of that's like the same thing with habits, right? You keep doing a bad habit, eventually that's going to be part of your identity. So just, you know, be very mindful of the habits you do, and try to, you know, form good habits and cut out bad habits. Okay. So point number 3 is sleep. So sleep is honestly the most important thing. Like, other than obviously eating good food and take care of your health, which, you know, sleeping is part of your health, but I swear, like, sleep, I'm gonna go into like a lot of detail. I know everyone's like, oh, you know, get good sleep. I'm gonna share details like why sleep is actually a good thing and what's so important. Like, how do you optimize sleep? How do you actually, how do you get the most out of your sleep, right? So I don't know if you guys know this, but obviously your body, you have a central nervous system. So this is anecdotal. I'm not a doctor. I'm just going to speak from my experience, right? When you're in a good environment and you get good sleep, you get to reset your central nervous system, right? And you notice, like, at least with me, what I notice is like when I get good sleep, I just feel so much better. I think better. I'm in a better mood. I can focus a lot longer. I have way better energy. So that's another thing. If you really want to lock in and actually improve your life, improve your finances, just everything in relationships, get better sleep. And like, if you guys don't listen to anything in this video, just listen to this. Just listen to this point that I'm going to make. Please get better sleep. Wake up at the same time, go to sleep at the same time. I promise you won't regret it, and it'll change your life, and you'll have way more energy, and you'll be able to just produce a lot better value, stuff like that. Okay. So point number 4 is kind of what I mentioned earlier, taking care of your health, but exercising, right? And I don't honestly, me personally, I go to the gym. I like working out, but I know myself, I'm not a bodybuilder, right? But I do like to exercise because I kind of explained this in previous videos. It increases your overall energy and improves your mood. The reason why this does that is because when you exercise, you actually increase mitochondria in your cells, right? As you guys know, mitochondria is the powerhouse of your cell. So the more you exercise, the more energy. It's literally like a system you keep feeding into. The more you exercise, the more energy you have. The more energy you have, you could put that energy into your work, energy into exercising more, and it's a snowball effect. So point number 4 is going to be to exercise, getting a job. I know this sounds corny. Everyone's like, become an entrepreneur, guys. You get born, you come out the womb, you're like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. No, like, you need to start somewhere. Okay. You need to start somewhere. I don't care where nobody says. Everybody isn't going to be an entrepreneur just from the jump. Okay. So my advice to anyone out there, honestly, this is what I would tell myself if I was 18 years old. Go get a job. Okay. If you're in college right now, this is a mistake I made. When I was in college, I only worked maybe 15, 20 hours a week. Sometimes I didn't even have a job, but I know every single summer I did work full time. That's a huge mistake. If I was in college, honestly what I would do? If I was in college, I'd do college part-time and work full-time, right? Because 1, work shows you actual business experience. That's 1, right? 2, you get to actually increase other skills, right? You become more disciplined. You know how to show up on time. You understand, you understand how to respect coworkers, right? Stuff like that. These skills, school does not teach you. Okay. So, working as much as possible and, starting work as young as possible, I'd recommend anyone. Go get a job. Honestly, I don't care where you work at. You can work at McDonald's. Okay. right? As long as you're working 40 hours a week and you're learning skills, that's honestly the best thing you could do. And yeah, and honestly, if I would be honest, like if you're a guy and you're under the age of like, I'll say 40, and you're not working at least like 40, 50 hours a week, I would aim for 60 hours a week. Man, you're not pushing yourself as hard as you can. And so, yeah, and obviously it's not like I mentioned earlier, it's not only about money, but like if you work hard, like I said, you increase all those skills, and yeah, you're gonna make a lot more money because you're working hard. Yeah, you're not gonna have as much time with your family and friends, but honestly, like nowadays, if you're not working hard, then it's just really not gonna be a good look for you in these next 5-10 years. Lord knows what's gonna happen. I mean, if you guys seen recently, the inflation rate has been going crazy. People can't afford housing. There's been, increase in homelessness. So yeah, I mean, if you're a young guy right now and you're listening to this video, work as much as you can. Obviously go to school. I think college is, still a good choice, but work hard as you can, try to find a path, try to find a career that you're actually interested into. You actually have somewhat of like a passion for it and stuff like that. But yeah, bottom line, point number 5, have a job, work as hard as you can. And obviously, you can, use those skills to start a business, which I'll probably talk about that in later videos. So those are the top 5 things to do in order to actually change your life for better. And those are the things that I follow as well. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the video for today. If you guys made it this far into the video, I really appreciate it. And like I said, we're on the road to 600 subscribers. I'm going to be a lot more consistent with these videos. So like I said, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it. If you found any value in this video, drop a like. It really mean a lot for this channel. And like I said, I respond to all my comments, so feel free to drop a comment. And appreciate you guys for watching. And until next time.